Howdy ho. This was going to be a pickups. No, it is a pickups video. I'm talking about. This was going to be a. No, it wasn't. I no. I had recorded a package opening video, but there's reasons why that's not going to get uploaded, which I'll probably get to later on. But that's not for now. That's for later. So it's sort of become a pickups video because I've got physically quite a lot of stuff there. A lot of charity shop stuff, which is, I think it's a bit strange considering the situation. I don't know about anyone else, but a load of my charity shops have closed down. Like the nearest place to me that had sort of like a little area of charity shops used to have 6 at one time, only a small load of shops, but one closed down before lockdown, and then 2 closed down since or during lockdown, and only 3 have reopened. And one of them is a really shitty one. It's the crap one that you can only get clothes in. But although there's got a rather attractive lady who works in there. She's not old, she's not an old lady, but anyway. Yeah. Actually, I won't laugh like that. That makes me look sinister. I don't normally drink beer in videos, but this is the last one. This is the last one I'll ever be able to get of this. This is the Lidl special. It was £1.79, but it was in their when it's gone section, and this is one of the last 2 still left on the shelf, and I took them to the checkout, and it wouldn't scan. So the geezer gave them to me they were meant to be £1.79. The geezer gave them to me for £1.25. So, and yeah, but it's just this company. They're called 71 Brewing. I had some of theirs during lockdown. Really nice stuff. It's not this. It's something else. It's a different one. And they're in Scotland, and it was really nice. But I kept having to go back to Lidl, which was like a zoo during lockdown. It was a bit irresponsible to keep going back, But this is the last one of those that I've got. So I thought I'd drink it. I actually mentioned in the last one in a video that would never get uploaded, and because I think it's about an hour long or something, an hour and a quarter. And but I thought I'd mention this one, and I'm not a heathen. I drink out of glasses. But this one isn't as nice as that one. That one was sort of cloudy and unpasteurised, really nice. This is. I might still have some. If you go back to Lidl, are quite good for. I realise for this is craft. It's craft ale. It's called West Coast IPA. But it's not bad. Not as good as the other one. But anyway, normally I have water, but it's a Sunday, and not that means anything. Don't know, not that's relevant. But right. Yeah, charity shops closing. Loads of them are closed. I reckon in my local area, luckily my nearest one on its own, that's still there. They always do well by there. And then I reckon about at least 10 have closed, like permanently, which changes the perspective slightly, changes the environment, not environment, what's the word? I don't know. Anyway, but aside from that, I've done well. I've not been going out on big charity shop hunting. I don't go on buses at the moment. I'm not willing to go on buses because I think in the last few times I've had a cold, I've definitely caught it on a bus, sitting on a bus for too long. So I'll just generally walk. I'll go to as many charity shops as I can, but I'll have to be within walking distance. And I've not done too badly. I might as well, yeah. I'll get to it. Right. 4 films, 4 Blu-rays. These first 3 came with something else, which I'll get to in a minute. That's a game. These are Blu-rays. These were sitting in my local charity shop for a while, and I'd seen them, and I wasn't that bothered by them. I didn't really know. I knew one of them, but I wasn't that bothered. So I left them. But then I went back sort of about a week later, and they were still there, and there was something else there with them. And they do. They have a minimum on car payments, and I didn't have any cash, so I had to sort of top up this game, which was £2, up to £3, up to £5. So I just snagged the 3 Blu-rays that were still there from last time. Sorry if I feel a bit, sort of seem a bit distracted. It's because I don't want to bang on about it. I seem to mention every single fucking video, but the builders are mostly gone next door. I think they've still got stuff to do. They've still got to do their drive, but the actual owners have moved in, and so they're here permanently now. And I can hear them through the wall. I can hear the kid. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's not nothing too overly intrusive. But I've built up such a dislike of them. Every time I hear them, I can picture them. I'm looking slightly obsessive and mental now. I know. I accept that. But I have to sort of zone it out. That's why normally I've been sort of like in the last few videos I've made sure I've had to do them on Sunday because there's not been any distractions. But now there are going to be distractions 24/7, so I'm just going to have to accept it. But anyway, let's have a drink. I think this is the other reason why I've decided to have a beer, just to calm my nerves. Right, Blu-rays. Yeah, 3 Blu-rays from my local charity shop. They were to top up to £5, so nothing majorly interesting. Although actually they're all good. One of them is good, really good for trading in, which will happen. This first one is called Lean on Pete. It's probably about £1.50 if I wanted to trade it in, but it's not a film I'd known of. But I've looked into it. And it sounds interesting. It sounds like something I'd like. It's sort of coming of age films. And I've realised I do really like coming of age films, and it's about excuse me. That's a downside of having beer. It's about a kid who's, I think he's sort of like, bit sort of lonely, awkward teenager as they normally are, and I think he gets a job or something on a stud farm or a horse training place, and he discovers that one of the horses is going to the knacker's yard or going to be turned into dog food. So he sort of saves it, takes it on an odyssey, and they But apparently that's what the review said, and the review said it's really good. So I was intending just to shit this straight to CEX. I think this will probably be at least a watcher, might even be a keeper, because like I said, I do like coming of age films. This one I do know of, Steve McQueen, Widows. Another one meant to be really good. It's the kid. Can anyone hear him? He's right cocky little shit. He's an only child, and I think he's sort of like a typical only child. Anyway, right. Zone it out. Right, yeah, Widows, Steve McQueen, meant to be really good. It's probably at least another watcher. This next one is probably a trader winner. I think it's about worth £6 Blu-ray. It's called Drowning by Numbers. It's got a decent cast. Bernard Hill. People know Bernard Hill. He was a thingy from Lord of the Rings. Mr. Rohan. What was his name? Can't remember. Juliet Stevenson, Jodie Richardson. It's by a guy called Peter Greenaway, who makes really high-end sort of highbrow, slightly arty films. He made a film called The Cook, the Thief, His Wife and Her Lover, which is I've tried to watch, and it, don't know. Anyway, in the past, this is not a film I know anything about, but it'll get me £6 in credits. So At the time, it was a punt, but then it was sort of like an educated punt. But and it turned out it was all right. But I've not been doing too well when it comes to educated punts for credit. I've generally been crashing and burning, thinking I reckon that might be worth something, and then they turn out not to be, or worth less than I paid. But the last film, a sealed one, this is definitely a keeper. This is a classic. I can't remember where I got this from. I think it might have been the same place. It might have been the same local. I don't know. But it was only cheap. It was only a pound. Bush Cassidy and the Sundance Kids, a classic. Like I said, do I need to say anything about this? What a brilliant double act. Redford and I think it's Burt Lancaster, Paul Newman. Yeah, what a classic. It's just that last. I remember watching. I always watched westerns when I was a kid, and I think that's why I've sort of still got a sort of a love of them now. I definitely remember watching that. Like certain scenes always stick in your head. Like the last, sort of like the end scene to that. It's just a. If you watch it when you're a kid, it's going to stick in your mind, isn't it? But right, 4 films. That's that. Yeah, this games. A good chunk of charity shop stuff here. So, first one is actually an original Xbox game, and it's for the collection. It was on my list, which is quite rare that I will find something in a charity shop, or at least an original Xbox game that will get ticked off the list. And this is one of them. This game I played on a demo. This was in a charity shop. One of the ones that opened in my local town, not up the road. It's sort of another one. I live in Enfield. This is in Enfield town. There are closer areas with charity shops. This is Enfield town. It has about, or at the height, had about 10 or 12. I think 3 have closed. One of them sadly closed. It was only a really tiny little, scrappy. I meant to say scrappy, little independent one for a cat protection. It was called the Scratching Post. And the first time I went back, just on a sort of really vague charity shop tour of my local of Enfield, the majority were at least closed temporarily, but this one in particular, called the Scratching Post, had closed. It looks like it's closed permanently because I had a memorial in the window of the lady who used to run it, and she really sadly she died from of the virus. So it just I don't. She was a really nice lady. I won't say I knew her well, but it surprised me that she one day she demonstrated that she actually recognised me, because I was obviously a regular, or a regular. I think I'd go to their I'd go to their shop like maybe once every 2 or 3 weeks, and I had no idea that she recognised me. But I went in there one day. I think I forgot what I was buying. I didn't always buy anything, but in this instance I did want to buy something, and they don't take cards, and I didn't have any cash. So I was going to have to go to the bank, and she was willing to let me take it because she recognised me. She knew that I'd be back. She was willing to let me take it without paying. I was thinking she must recognise me. I had no idea that she did. And then we had this sort of banter about what I thought of their rearranged DVD section, and she was really nice, sort of one of these really friendly, genuinely personable people, and it's just really sad to find that she was one of the victims of the virus. And when you know of people sort of directly have died, it sort of brings it into perspective, doesn't it? And also it frustrates me with these arseholes who aren't willing to take it seriously. People who protest in Trafalgar Square. I know there are people out there who do. Maybe even people who are watching. But, if you're not willing to believe that this is what is going on, then at least go and talk to someone like that. Go and talk to their family, and tell them about your theories. I'm sure they'd appreciate it. Either that, go and work on one of the wards in a hospital without a mask. maybe I might learn something. But anyway, yeah, it was sad that she'd passed away. But no, this was a different charity shop, by the way. This was on the way. There's sort of a little circuit that I do that goes around the outside of town. I don't always go that way, and this is one of the first ones. This is one of the charity shops that's still open. And they had a game. It was only £1. It's called Yaga. I think it's Yaga, like Crimson Skies. It's basically like sort of a space combat arcadey sort of a flight sim type thing, and really good if I remember rightly. I think I think it gets maybe unfairly overlooked. Well, not overlooked, but at least in comparison to Crimson Skies, because people talk about Crimson Skies quite often, and this, at least as a hidden gem, this one doesn't get as much, anywhere near as much chat. Oh, Jesus Christ, chat. But yeah, this was on the list, albeit quite way down. But yeah, it was only £1, so right. When I was talking about sort of punts I've taken and that haven't been paying off too well, a couple here that, or at least I think this first one, yeah, this is from my local charity shop. I had cash this time, and I thought, yeah, that's definitely worth having, or at least I didn't know it was, because it's a Wii game, and I know Wii games since lockdown have gone up in price, and I thought, well, that's definitely going to be worth buying, and I think at the time it wasn't. I think at the time it would have got me £2 because I paid £2 for it. It's Lego Harry Potter 1 to 4, and I paid £2 for it. I think it's gone up by £1 to £3, so I'll be making £1 out of it. I'll be making a third of 33% on my money, or at least in credit. But this isn't a keeper anymore. There was a time a few years ago I would have kept it for my nieces, but they're neither 1 or 4, or 1 to 4. They're 6 and 8, I think. I can't remember. But yeah, they might like it, but probably not anymore. So this will be a trader, and I'll benefit by £1. So yeah, and weirdly, actually, having said that a lot of charity shops have closed, there's been a couple of new ones opened, which I think is weird. Some have. So I was just distracted by The Price is Right. Good game. Yeah, in a brand new charity shop that opened up. Lego Harry Potter 1 to 4, but this time on the DS. It was £1.50. This will get me £4. Again, this is a trader. This isn't a keeper. So I can go. I'm going to trade them in 2 copies of Harry Potter 1 to 4. So with this one, I'll make £2.50 on my money. But yeah, and this one was the game that went with the 3 Blu-rays. This was the game I wanted, and the Blu-rays to top it up to £5, so I could pay card. This is actually, again, this is a keeper. This is one I've been interested in. Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood. By all accounts, I've seen people pick it up in the past, and it's a Sonic RPG. I'm guessing it's like the Sonic equivalent of Paper Mario or something, or Mario RPG. But meant to be good, and it's £2, and it's in decent nick. So, again, it's not often now, at least, that I find things in charity shops that go into the collection. So, I mean, this one was strange, and so was Yaga. And if I'm honest, this next one is another one that will go into the collection. Maybe, I think it probably will. But I'm not certain it will, because it's a game I can justify having and playing, and I think I'll probably enjoy it. But I'm not target audience, and it's a late PS2 game, and this was a sort of strange one. It was in a branch of British Heart Foundation that generally can be pretty pricey. They can put their prices up quite high, or they can individually price things on the odd occasion. But in this instance, I've noticed actually, I say in this instance in my videos a lot, and it really gets on my tits when I watch them back. So in this instance, I'm going to stop doing it. I'm trying to think of something else to say. Another, what's the word? Not a bridge. I can't remember. There is a word for it. Segue. Segue? Is that right? Yeah. Teen Titans. So that is probably the best individual purchase I've made in a charity shop in quite a while. PS2, yeah, it's my thing. It's like sort of X-Men Legends, those sorts of games, isn't it? And you can play 4 players, I think. Oh, 1 to 2. No, 1 to 4. You can with a multi-tap. Yeah. So it's got a lot of a lot of appeal. It's a late PS2 game, I think. Is it? Or is it? It's just 2006. I'm sure there was a lot of games released after that. But 2006. But anyway, I remember seeing it on the shelf. I saw it like that. Oh, Teen Titans. I can remember seeing it in the shops, like in HMV up in Oxford Circus, and thinking that's a late PS2 game. Or that's a game I've never seen before. It's a game you don't see often. And I thought I'd take a punt for £2. And turns out, yeah, I mean, CEX will charge 20 quid for this. So, yeah. And like I said, it's sort of like X-Men Legends, I think. And I've definitely seen other people buy this to stick in their collections, but now it'll get me about £8 credit. So, like often, a lot of collectible things, I will buy, and I have to decide whether or not them going into collection, my desire to have them in my collection is greater than my desire for the credit that they're worth. So this is £8. I think this is going to go in the collection because it will be a player. It will be something I play. Even though it's sort of like Teen Titans, isn't that like a sort of a superheroes for kids cartoon? I don't know. Probably. But yeah, so that was a really decent charity shop purchase. This is an interesting charity shop purchase. Not one that I was definitely going to make. I had to. Sorry, distractions. Every time there's a distraction, I'm going to reset myself by taking a glug of Lidl's finest to try and reset. Right. Yeah. I was just out for a walk, really. I think I was doing some shopping, and as always, I always say, if you like buying stuff in charity shops, never pass a charity shop without going in. Always at least go and have a look. And this one, I don't know for certain if it had been open before I'd passed, because I went in and I swear I heard the woman behind the counter saying to another customer this was the first day that they'd opened. This was only going back this week, but I swear I've been in there since, or before that. So was she lying to this bloke? I don't know, but excuse me. So yeah, they have DVDs and games and CDs all in the same place, and there wasn't really anything in there. They did a few games, wasn't anything I was that interested in, and they have a central display or rack of clothes, and in I went round the other side because I wasn't expecting to see anything, but in all the bric-a-brac, like the place where they generally have like crockery and stuff, like plates, they had some games consoles. I'm like, oh shit. And I looked down the price, 25 quid of this particular one. I think, but then it had 5 games, and I think, oh, please be something good, please be something good. And 5 of them, 3 of them are throwaway stuff, sports games. 1 of them is sort of middling. I'm indifferent about it. The other one was definitely a keeper, and it could offset the cost, the 25 quid. And I was sort of debating. It had missing parts. There was on the handle. Actually, I might have given it away. On the handle, it said missing parts for 25 quid. But I knew that I had missing some of those missing parts so that I could actually use it. and I was thinking, do I really want to pay 25 quid for it? And it was something. It's something I didn't have, something I wanted. I'd bit out of my comfort zone, so I didn't really know how much that they go for, whether I was overpaying. I've got a feeling I wasn't overpaying, at least with that the money I can get back from trading in certain bits. But I just don't know. Just I was there for ages, and it was in this wicker basket, and it had these two really shitty third party N64 controllers with it, which I think they'd assumed were meant to go with it, but clearly weren't. So I took ages to sort of untangle all the wires that were in this basket, and then sort of set them aside, and then set the N64 controllers aside, and then try and decide if I really wanted it. And I wasn't certain if the games went with the console, so I took it up to the counter and said, "Do the games go to the console?" And then the woman had to go and get her manager, and the manager come back, and then she took that to mean that I'm really interested, and then she started ringing it up before I had actually confirmed that I was interested in it. So I didn't have the balls to say, actually, I'm only inquiring. So in the end, she took the decision out of my hands. I ended up paying 25 quid for it, but it turns out I'm quite happy, and it works. I'm really chuffed actually that it works, and it's something that I've, like I said, low key wanted for a long time. I'll show you what it is. It's missing one fairly major element. Excuse me. Let me just adjust a few things. This is what it is. So GameCube. It's got the power brick. It's got a third-party Gamester SCART cable, which I hooked it up to that telly, and I tested one of the games, and it looked shit. So I'm tempted to invest at least in one of the official RGB SCARTs. So I can invest some of my credit. I know you can get them on a computer exchange for 48 quid. I think you can get them for quite a bit cheaper than that on eBay if you're willing to bide your time for an auction, but I'm not sure I am. I might just throw some credit at it. But just reminds me of the time, this is a story I've mentioned in the past. It reminds me of the time I found a GameCube in a local cash converters type shop, and it had an official GameCube component cable with it. Jesus, this is when it was already worth decent money, but about 40 quid. So not anywhere near as much as it is now. I mean, they're about hundreds now, aren't they? Hundreds, 200, I don't know. I've not looked in a while. But I knew it was definitely worth having, and the whole bundle was only a tenner. No games, just a sealable console. I think a Wavebird without the receiver, so I couldn't use that, but I was going to have it anyway. But I've got a control. I've got a GameCube pad, and and I thought brilliant. I'll try it. Took it home, hooked it up, and with Ikaruga, and it was displaying weird colours. It was only displaying reds and greens, and I couldn't get it to work, and so I took it back, and begrudgingly gave him my money back. And it's only since then I'm guessing that all I had to do was change the settings on the GameCube to output for the so it matched the component. I don't know the technicalities of it. I know there are people who do, and you probably confirmed that yes, I probably only needed to change the change the settings, so I could have had a GameCube component cable. Well, to be fair, at the time I didn't really have 10 quid to be shelling out on games consoles, but I could have made it work if it was a keeper, but what's that? But anyway, yeah. It's got this shitty. It's a Gamester. Excuse me. Gamester. Where's the logo? Yeah. Gamester. It's all right. I mean, I tried Mario. I tried my copy of Mario Kart with it. and then there's a third-party Joytech memory card. But yeah, so it's 25 quid. No, like I said, no pad. That's obviously what when they said missing parts. Although the manager did try to sell me, did try to give me the really shitty N64 pads that had knackered sticks anyway. But yeah, games wise, I might have just given a little bit away. Games wise, we've got 3 sports games. So Tiger Woods, FIFA, and this will get me 30p in Computer Exchange. These will get me a penny, I think. So I think I might trade this one in. Actually, although the cases are really nice nick. So yeah, this one was going to be a keeper, but then I played a bit of it, and no, didn't like it. It was twitchy as fuck. Wave Race, Blue Storm. I've already just need to persevere, but I mean, it's. I've only got a little sort of capsule. I think that's the right term, isn't it? Capsule. GameCube. Jesus Christ! Apologies for the beery burps. I've only got a little capsule sort of GameCube collection, and if I'm not feeling it, it's not likely it's going to get played. It's not like I'm not likely to persevere. And it'll get me £2 anyway. And again, that's that sort of, does the credit it can get me outweigh my desire to play it in this instance? In this case, it doesn't. So I don't know. I might have another go. But the thing is that was the game that I tried with this, and it looked awful. I should probably try it with my CRT, but I don't know. That probably put me off because it looked really bleached and like bright and sort of slightly washed out. But I should, like I said, I should probably try it with my CRT. But you know, that put me off. And it was, like I said, it was twitchy as fuck. I don't know. I know. I'm guessing people have played it and they probably will, know that it's twitchy as fuck, or maybe it's just me being shit. And this one sort of basically sold it to me. Mario Kart Double Dash, no manual, but in decent nick, 16 quid credit. So with Wave Race and 2002 World Cup, that would be £18.30 credit. Take that out from the 25 quid that I paid, and that's £6.70 basically for the GameCube without controller. So it's not bad. And now I've got a GameCube, so I can basically, the only reason I wanted a GameCube because I've got my Wii behind me. Now I've got a GameCube that I can. Oh no, kid's been shouted at. That's what they've had a couple of Barneys. They've only been in it. They've been in here less than 24 hours, and I've already heard them like proper having a go at each other through the wall. I'm not. I don't want to laugh or anything. I don't want to take pleasure in their unhappiness. But anyway, yeah, Mario Kart, 16 quid credit. So basically, that's a GameCube system only for £6.70, which makes sense. I would have paid £6.70 for a sort of a GameCube sort of on its own. So yeah. So that's, and yeah, it was a little bit scratched, but it cleaned up nicely, and it's like I said, I'm tempted to go and order an RGB SCART from Computer Exchange, but actually these should have been. Should these have been? No, these should have been before the charity shop games because they're not major. They're two screwdrivers. What are they? They're a T20 and a T10. So I can open up my Xbox, basically do surgery to save its life, stop it. There's that advert for the bloke, the fat pants bloke. for fat people with chafing thighs. Anyway, that's by the by. I've been distracted by the bloke with his pants for fat people. Yeah. Screwdrivers to save the life of my Xbox. These are about £3.50 in total, and I'm not saying I will, but I'm tempted to make a video of me trying to open up my Xbox. It could be really embarrassing. You'll see how little I know, which is a lot. I know a lot. I know a little about. No, I don't. Actually, no, it's not a lot. If I know a little, I know what I mean. In other words, I know very little. So, yeah. Last four. Argos. I've been failing miserably to get anything from Argos. I've been checking their bloody website every day. I've been checking their eBay page because their stock's different on the eBay page and their website. Some things, copy that Fire Emblem, I could have had, but I couldn't be bothered to travel just to buy something to trade in because it's a game I've already got. But this one was, I really wanted a copy of Bravely Default. This isn't it, but you know, all those arseholes who bought piles of them, I only wanted one for myself, but no, I had to do me out of it. But this one popped up on clearance on the website, and it's more than the others, but still significantly less, than you would pay on eBay or Computer Exchange. It was a tenner, so that took a bit of umming and ahhing, but not much, because it was definitely a game I wanted to play, wanted to play. It's Metroid, Samus Returns, definitely one to keep. And this was a tenner, and I've got a feeling I had the last copy in the UK because I think later that day it went out of stock literally everywhere. There weren't any available because I think if everybody knows, or a lot of people know, if they look at Argos, is that they might have one or two in stock, but if you say, oh, I'm willing to travel, they're always like in Oban or somewhere, or Stoke, or like Wolverhampton, you know. And I'm not going to travel all that way just for a cheap game. And this was in my sort of not quite nearest Argos, but one within walking distance, albeit it took about an hour to walk there. But yeah, this was a tenner, so not a bad bargain, I think. Even a sort of a tenner, you know, I'd rather pay £2 or £1.50 because I'm still, you know, I was checking for Bravely Second for weeks and never in stock, clearly, but you know, not that I'm bitter with all those people who are making money off me, because I can see they've all ended up on eBay, and now there's so many on eBay that it's driven the price down. So you're not making as much money as you thought you were going to, right? So it's driven the price down in CEX as well. That's now down to £12. It was sort of maybe 18, maybe not quite as high as 20, 18. I'm guessing about 18. Now it's down to 12. So all those copies that were taken from Argos dumped straight onto eBay. The prices have gone. So you know, I'm not willing to pay more than a tenner now, and I could just fuck it off and get one from CEX, but no. Right, these last these next two, I was going to have a bit of a not a rant, so to speak, about these, but not the culture, the system surrounding these games, because I'm not. It's not something I'm really into. I know this is a big thing nowadays. This is going to be a giveaway. These are apparently the last two Wii games ever to be released. So a bit of a giveaway there. From V Blank Entertainment Online, American company. Shakedown Hawaii and Retro City Rampage DX for the Wii. They're PAL releases, so it made sense. And I saw talk of them going back 3 months. I waited for them to be released because this is sort of thing. I'm not generally interested in that sort of thing, but these two particular games, I've not got any other consoles that are available on. Maybe like they might be digitally on something I've got, but I'd rather have hard copies. And sort of the connection to the Wii made them more interesting because like supposedly the last ever Wii games in existence, which made them more interesting. So I thought, yeah, and they were about something like $24, $25. I thought that's not too expensive, or were they $29? No, I think they were essentially $30. Would it make it about 24 quid for each? So they had the deadline. Oh, they're going live on sort of this time on this day. So I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to whip up the enthusiasm and the mania and basically make you lose your mind. And essentially, I did. And that's my main beef. I don't like this system, this technique that games companies. There's a very particular sort of games company now, publisher, that preys on the worst instincts of gamers and games collectors. I think it's fucking shady, but I succumbed this time. Generally, I try and resist, but in this instance, in this case, just say case, you can't. in this case, I succumbed. But yeah, although weirdly, I nearly threw my toys out for him. I did. I tweeted about it. I sort of left myself a reminder of when they were going live. See, that's what I don't like. It makes you lose your critical faculty. You start, or the soul. What's the word? Motivation is I've got to buy these. I've got to buy these. There's no rational thinking. But as long as they can get rid of your rational thinking, then they're doing their job. But I think it's up to us to basically to resist. Make them work harder. Make them give us more. If we can make them work harder, they will give us more. That's generally how I see it. But yeah, it went live. Oh right, yeah. Put in all my details and buy. And it came up. No, I can't remember how it went. No, I went buy, and it came up sold out. I think, what fuck? What is this? There's all the scalpers basically just sort of pounced on it, and because it's meant to be 3,000 copies of each. And I just sort of like threw a wobbler, tweeted, "Oh no, they've already sold out inside a minute." But then it was just some glitch. There was some slight problem because there was meant to be this thing that this game was the last ever Wii game ever released, but apparently. This slight glitch to their system just as they went live meant that this one went live last and this one went live first or something like that. I've read there's mention of it on Twitter. I think this was meant to be the big this is the last ever Wii game, but apparently it was the wrong way round because of some sort of glitch and they ended up going live the wrong way round. But yeah, it did say for a while, it did say both were sold out, and I was like really fucked off. But when I say while, I mean like a couple of minutes. So I kept trying, refreshing, and they were like back in stock. And then it turned out this ended up selling out inside about a month or something, or 2 weeks. There's me getting like really pissed off. There's no need, Generally, if you ever find yourself getting really worked up by these sorts of things, there's no need, But all of these things where I've missed out pre-orders and stuff. Don't worry about it, mate. They'll eventually you'll get yours. All of those things Nintendo release. It's not often that if you don't get a pre-order and you can't get them, is it? We're being played like a fiddle. Those fuckers are playing us like fiddles, and it really gets my tits. But anyway, yeah. So I ordered them. I thought they were going to be just under 50 quid. so about 20, just under 25 quid each. But then I didn't factor in American sales tax, plus postage, plus import fees. They came to over 70 quid each. No, not each. Fucking hell. No, 70 quid together. And I didn't know whether it was actually factored in import fees. But when they turned up, I didn't have to pay anymore, which was a sort of a slight win, not much, but then having ordered them, and anyone who's got these will know, they took nearly 2 months to turn up. And this one, I've seen people with like days, maybe a week in the UK, a week after they went live. So they got there, and I'm thinking, why the fuck is mine taking 2 months, and these people have got theirs? Am I being stiffed? And I was in contact with their help desk, on and off for 2 weeks, on and off, no, for 2 months. And I think the guy was probably getting a bit exasperated with probably people wondering where their shit was. And I was trying to be polite, but I think my third or fourth email, I started to demonstrate I was getting a bit narked, and I was willing to, bring out the big guns. Which I don't know what big guns are, but anyway. Yeah. These two. And of course, there's a fuckload on UK eBay now for inflated prices. Not massively inflated prices, though. You'd probably pay, I reckon you'd pay about as much as I paid, not much more. I've opened them. I've taken the wrapping off, and they're no longer brand new. And inside they're disappointingly cheap. The cases aren't like normal Wii cases, they're the cheaper construction. But that's not about that, it's about playing them, and these are things I'm going to play. So, right. Last one. Right, if you remember right back at the beginning of the video, I mentioned a video that won't ever get uploaded for whatever reason, which I'll get to. I took another punt on CX with my credit. Something I really wanted, one of my most desired titles, came into stock. Thought brilliant. I'll combine it with something else. So I ordered 2 at a time, like the last one. That one sort of worked out. This one only partially worked out. I made the video. It was actually quite a good video. It was quite entertaining. But this was, don't know, not that long ago. But I made it and I watched it back. That's what I always do. I always watch my videos back when I've made them, see if they're worth uploading. And fuck me, did I need a haircut. That's not the sole reason why I didn't want to upload it. But it was quite a major one. I thought, Jesus Christ, you really need a haircut, don't you? And with the stresses of lockdown, it made me realise that I'm fucked some more grey hairs. I've had these here for a while. I've had a few roundabout here mixed in for a while. But this video and the fact I really need a haircut, I thought, Jesus Christ. It shocked me. And that shock, sort of like, no, that's not getting uploaded. It's not getting uploaded. So no. So unfortunately, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take some screen grabs of the process of me opening up the other game, because it came in a big sort of, it wasn't a bit like a big black bin bag with a fuck ton load of bubble wrap around it, which made it feel really light. And I suspected it might be. It was missing a manual. It was Tombi 2. It's now on CX website in Barnet. It's the Barnet copy. So if you go have a look, I should have it. It's really nice nick. Really, really unfortunate, but it just didn't have a manual. And I took it back. Got my money back. And yeah, and I opened it and then showed you the process. It's actually quite entertaining because it didn't work out. Because you have to take the rough with the smooth, don't you? To use a cliche. But like I said, it's never going to get uploaded because having watched it back, simply I just really need a haircut. But this was the other one. This was really nice nick. This has got a slight crack in the case, but otherwise that's nothing because I've got spare cases, and it's Super Pan collection. And yeah, This is a £60 game. This has definitely gone up. This used to be. This is sort of about maybe a £40 game on eBay. This has definitely gone up in price, and on Computer Exchange as well. This was again about £40 game on Computer Exchange, and nicely collectible. I know it's been collectible for a while. I can remember a few old school YouTubers buying it years ago, and it was collectible back then. But I think it's more collectible now. But yeah, and I took a punt on this one, and it turned up. But like I said, I'll get some screen grabs of me opening up Tombi 2, and I'll show you. I'll show you the big bag. It looked like a bomb, basically. Big black bin bag with tape around it, and and me looking gutted when I discovered it didn't have a manual. But I'd sort of guessed because it felt really light, even though a shit ton of bubble wrap is deceptive. It makes things feel lighter than they actually are. But anyway, this one had a good heft because it's got this fucking beast of a manual. Look at that. A little bit of wave, but that's nothing major. But generally, it's in a really nice nick. No sun bleaching this time. So yeah, that was one off the list. That one's gone back. I've got my credit back. You know, I'm partially happy. So basically, I've taken 4 punts and give or take a bit of sun bleaching on yo-yos. They've worked out, or 3 out of the 4 worked out. So I think that's not a bad hit rate. But there's now another copy of Tombi 2 in Falkirk. There's 2 on the website at the moment. I'm tempted to make another order, but they'll probably send me the one I've just sent back, won't they? Of course they will. Right, gonna let you go. That's me. I'm done. If I make another order, I'll try and get this next one on camera because you know, I've had an haircut, as you can see. You still see me grey bits. That's because I'm sitting in front of the window and they glow. They glow in daylight. Can't hear next door now. Of course, they had to be banging on when I was making my video, didn't they? Right. Yeah. In the next month or so, I'm going to put Operation Piss Off the Neighbours into full effect. I bought a record player. It's a TIAC TN280BT Bluetooth. I've got a bargain, by the way. It's nice. It's got like a fake wood effect. Really smooth action, belt driven. You know, hopefully that should get enough some nice, you know, get some nice bit of noise out of that, and them bastards behind me. So, right, gonna let you go. Cheers, thanks for watching, and I've got a few other ideas for videos. I've got a load of really old game hunting footage that I've had on my computer for donkey's years. I might put that into like a sort of a compilation video. But, you know, that's just an idea. I'll let you go. Cheers. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.